For us, it was important to partner with Tembi and on this auspicious occasion for various reasons. One is we try to build legacies for our class, and tonight is really a celebration of the legacy of our Tambo. So it really tied into what we are as an organisation. Everything's about legacy and relationship. The other piece is, one of our ethos is that we really live in society and not live off society. And I think, again, when you look at our Tambo and what he fought for, it was to build a free society, a society that includes people, that is free, that is just full of joy and love, and that's what tonight's about as well. So it was a great event for us to partner with the ambassador and with the Tambo family in sharing their legacy, because it ties into the legacies that we have for all our class. So hopefully that's something that we can impart and continue to partner with the ambassador.
I think it was a resounding success. It's the first year, it's the inaugural year of the Oliver Tambo Golf Day, and I think it's just going to grow and grow. But certainly today was an astounding day for the golfers and for those of us who attended the gala dinner. As I said earlier, I'm not a golfer, because I spent that 1 hour with my father when my mother insisted, in exile, you never play with your son. You're always too busy. Take him to the park and show him something. So one day he showed me soccer, kick like this, kick like that. Next day, golf. But I never got to hit a golf ball because it was all about posture and no, you must lean here and this, that and the other. Stuff other golfers know like that. So it put me off playing golf. Then for Owa himself, he never had time. But when he was with Kenneth Kaunda, the president of Zambia, they would steal away times early in the morning or late in the afternoon, and they'd play golf and sometimes invite other politicians and have a round of golf. No, I think this is a beautiful way to remember him. He was a man of many skills and talents. He was a choral conductor. He was a writer of choral songs. He was a horse jockey who used to compete in the Eastern Cape in races. And you know how those guys ride. I mean, they could beat any of these ones at Turfontaine. You know? If they had the horses, they would beat the hell out of them. And of course, he was a golfer and things like this. So, you know, I remember him in ways that many of the public don't know about him, because as my sister said, he passed away too early for him to come back as a healthy man. He came back, he knew freedom was coming. He knew, okay, I can hand the baton on to Madiba, and that the movement, the ANC, was strong. But he didn't get to some freedom, and he didn't get to do what he and my mother wanted to do, which was retire, spend their time gardening, traveling the country, doing things that they could never do for 30 years in exile. And obviously giving advice to the movement. But I think he's fondly remembered, and the more we humanize him, rather than just seeing him as an elderly statesman, all these guys were young ones. They all had beautiful passions and interests, and were it not for apartheid, they would have followed them. But they had to spend their time in struggle, and quite rightly so. He would complain to me about that, yeah, no, you know, your father, if he could get in more time, he would be a champion. But even when I play with him, I have to keep saying to him, Oliver, focus on the game. It's your shot. Stop talking now. But I think it was just their lot that God and the revolution said lead. And so there was nothing more important than that. And, you know, the few games they had with each other and with others and things like this, as I said, they used to have to steal that time. No, I know that had he come back fit, he would have said to the Gary players and these ones, come. You think you know golf? Come. No, he was a perfectionist, you see, in everything he did. I remember when I went to Holy Cross, the priest there told me the story about how when Owa was young and a student at Holy Cross, the nun said, okay, each of you dig a patch of ground and we want you to plant vegetables. By the time the other students had finished tilling the soil and were planting their vegetables, these nuns came and said, Oliver, what's wrong with you? You're still tilling the soil. The others are already planting. He said, no, I need to prepare the soil properly. But my plants will grow stronger and taller than all theirs. That nun then said, when they looked in retrospect, his were the tallest, they were the strongest, because he prepared the ground. And this priest said to me, that's a metaphor, Dali, for how he dealt with the revolution and the movement. Patient, but ensure that the preparation is done so that when the time comes, the movement is ready.
If we look at the three ambassadors, the youth ambassadors for the Tambo inaugural golf day, you've got arts, you've got sport, obviously the golf today, you've got golf, you've got the rugby sponsorship with the jersey tonight, the music and art, where you have the two ambassadors specifically focused on those two pieces. Those really break down multiple divides. And I think that's important as well, because we can find unity in sport, in arts and in music, and bringing multitudes of different people together. I think that's really the culture of South Africa and the rich history of South Africa. I think by bringing that in, it's important. The third youth ambassador was entrepreneur. For us, we've built our business from entrepreneurs. Our founding people that started our bank were entrepreneurs. They really set the path in for everyone else that was coming after them. We still try and look for entrepreneurs that come into our business, entrepreneurs within a corporate context that really drive our business forward. It's important for us to also support entrepreneurs and see how this country can be built on the back of entrepreneurs. So to have a third youth ambassador like that and see the youth taking that up, I think is also amazing.
I think that his legacy is strong. I love the fact that he's remembered. I love the fact that people use him as a moral lodestar in the movement. What is the right thing to do? What would OR have done? You know, no, I have tremendous, memories of love for him. I loved his unconditional love for me and my sisters, and yet, as Johnny McAtini once said to me, he's not just your father, he's the father of a nation. So don't feel like you've got the right to grab him and hold on to him, you know. And I saw how he got such unconditional love from so many people. He wasn't, as Albie Sachs once said, he wasn't your typical African revolutionary, you know, tall, loud, shouting speeches, rhetoric and all of this kind of stuff. He was a quieter man, but his essence came through, and people loved him for his integrity and his essence and his quiet power. And I'm sad that he never got to, explore his lighter side, you know, the horse riding, because I became a horse rider because of him, you know. The horse riding, the golf, the soccer, the many sides, you know, the choirs and things like this. And each time I see a mass choir, I imagine him being in front. You know.
So he's a composer as well.
Yes, and they still sing. There are a couple of songs he composed that are still sung to this day. Yeah.